I have no clue where that clip is. Now, how many times have you said this to yourself when editing in Final Cut Pro? You can't find a clip in the browser, you don't know where you might have used a clip in your timeline. Well, the match frame function in Final Cut Pro can help solve this problem. The match frame function will allow you to take a clip in your browser and find out if and where you might have used a clip in your timeline. It also lets you take a clip from your timeline and find out where it's located in the browser. Let's take a look at this in detail. Now, like most parts of Final Cut Pro, you can use the match frame with a keyboard shortcut or with a pull-down menu. We're going to be using mostly keyboard shortcuts, but in case you need to find them, they'll be located in the View pull-down menu and in the Match Frame submenu in the View pull-down menu. So the first thing we want to do is simply show you how to do a match frame from a clip in the timeline to a copy of that clip in the viewer. For instance, let's say I want to use my favorite camel shot in another part of the program. Well, if I double-clicked it to load in the viewer, that's not another version of the clip. That's the one that's in my timeline. And I don't want to go digging anywhere in my browser to find that shot. So I simply park the playhead over the shot that I want and press the F key. This will automatically load a copy of the clip into my viewer and even position the playhead on the exact frame where it's positioned in my timeline. So it's very easy for me to now take this camel shot and drag it to the end of my show. So I have a version here and a version here. I do this a lot when I do like a wraparound with a show where I use the same shots at the beginning and the end, but I might want the clips to be of different lengths, I might have different effects on them, so I don't want to copy that clip. Now, much like match framing from a clip in the timeline to bring a clip into the viewer, I can also take a clip that might be in my browser, and I can load this into my viewer, and I can find out if I've used that in my show and where I've used that in my show. So I'm going to scrub over here to a specific part of my music, and I simply hit the F key with the viewer active, and it shows me exactly where I've used that same frame of video in my program. So we can match from the timeline to the viewer, or from the viewer to the timeline. Another really useful matching function in Final Cut Pro is being able to have a clip that's in your timeline and finding where it's located in your browser. Often I'll be working on a film and an actor might have done 5, 6, 7, maybe even 15 takes, and I have used maybe take number 7 in my timeline. I say, maybe I want to try 8, but I have no idea where to find that clip or how to find it very quickly. So what I can do is on any clip, for instance, we'll do Niger Sand. And in this case, instead of just parking my playhead on it, I'm going to select the clip. And instead of hitting the F key, I'm going to hit Shift F. Now take a look at what happens in my browser. Note that my video bin is closed, but as soon as I hit Shift F, Final Cut opens the bin that contains the clip and highlights that clip. So it's very easy for me to find that clip or find clips that might have been next to it. In the case of the film, I might have all the different takes that the actor performed of that line. In the previous lesson, we created subclips, and they work the same way with match frame. So we put our playhead directly above Runners 1 torso, and I'm about to hit F just like before. But before I do that, I see a potential problem. If I click now, it won't match frame to the shot that I'm thinking I'm going to, which is the torso shot. Niger Sand 1 is still selected, and it will default to that. So when match framing, always make sure that either nothing is selected by clicking on the gray area, or you can always select the actual shot. Now if I hit F, it loads that clip into the viewer. If I hit Shift F, it actually highlights Runners 1 torso, the subclip, in my browser. But there's a new feature in Final Cut Pro 7. Suppose I wanted to find the original parent clip, the original clip that I made that subclip out of, because there might be another part of that shot that I want to find and use. In this case, I'll go up under the View menu, and I'll say Reveal Subclip Parent Clip. If I click on that, it reveals Runners 1, the original clip that I created the subclip out of. Now earlier on, we showed you that if you load a clip from the browser into the viewer, and I'm going to load Niger Sand 1, I could click on that clip, hit the F key, and it will match frame to my timeline. Now if you notice, I actually have multiple copies of Niger Sand 1 in my timeline. So how can I find all of those clips at once? Another new match framing feature in Final Cut Pro 7 is Reveal Affiliated Clips in Front Sequence. By simply clicking this drop-down menu, it actually will highlight every instance of Niger Sand 1 in my timeline. And one of my favorite features in Final Cut Pro is the ability to reveal the master clip, to reveal the original clip in the Finder. Now to do this, I can simply right-click on the clip, and I simply say Reveal in Finder. This will show me exactly where this clip is anywhere in my operating system. This is really useful if I want to find a clip that I may have captured at the same time as the clip I used in my timeline, but I had never brought into my browser. Understanding the power of match framing can save you time and frustration by quickly getting you to the media you want when you need it.